Some of the most dangerous footballers on the planet spent the whole summer watching from their sofa, just like the rest of us, how Spain lifted the 2026 World Cup trophy after defeating Argentina. But here's the thing, nobody wants to say out loud. Missing the World Cup does not mean you failed as a ball player. It might be that your country didn't qualify like Lookman's Nigeria, or a manager didn't fancy your profile like Cole Palmer, or your knee gave out in April like Simmons. All those are completely different stories, which will be for another day. But for today, I'm giving you 7 names of players who never kicked a ball in North America, and I'm telling you exactly why every single one of them is primed to tear the 2026-27 season apart. Stay to the end, because number 1 is arguably the best winger alive, and he's got a full summer of rage stored up. Number 7, Cole Palmer. And this one still makes England fans wince. Thomas Tuchel looked at the man who scored in a Euro 2024 final, the coldest penalty taker in the country, and left him out of the 2026 World Cup squad.
Very confident in the group that we chose and with whom we arrived. Very difficult decisions, painful conversations, difficult for the players, difficult to explain to the players. But as I said, what we're trying to achieve, we try to achieve as a team, and we try to nominate a balanced squad. If everyone is selected, it was a given that from these 55 players, we have to leave some extraordinary talents, some extraordinary personalities at home.
Yes, Palmer had a scratchy, injury-hit season at Chelsea by his own ridiculous standards. But you're telling me a player with his game-changing ceiling doesn't make the plane? Well, here's what a snub like that does to a certain type of player. It lights a fire in them. Palmer sat at home while England went out, and now he walks back into a Chelsea side under Xabi Alonso with something to prove to a national manager who told him he wasn't good enough. Arrested Palmer, no tournament in his legs, hunting a point. That's terrifying for the rest of the Premier League. Now let me set the scene properly, because it matters. This is the part everyone forgets. A Summer World Cup runs a player into the ground. The lads who went deep, the ones in that final, they've got maybe 3 weeks before preseason. Tired legs, short holidays, tanks half empty. The 7 names on this list? Fully recharged. That's the hidden edge. While the World Cup heroes are dragging themselves through August, these guys are flying. In a transfer window where clubs are still building matchday squads, a fresh, motivated, world-class player is the smartest asset in the team. Speaking of fresh legs after a nightmare, number 6, Xavi Simmons. He tore his ACL playing for Tottenham against Wolves back in April, and just like that, the Netherlands lost their spark for the summer. Brutal. But hear me out. An ACL is not the career ender it used to be. Players come back sharper, hungrier, with a point-to-prove fire burning inside them. Simmons was Ronald Koeman's most dependable creator through the whole qualifying cycle. He's just 23. And if the rehab goes clean, he comes back to a full season with no international distraction pulling at him, free to focus entirely on his club. Don't write off the enigma. Instead, write him down as a breakout waiting to happen. Quick one before I keep going. Pause it right here. Drop me a name in the comments. Who's the World Cup absentee you think is about to have the season of his life? Because I've got 2 African superstars coming up that half of you have been screaming about since the qualifiers, and I want to know if you called them. Type it now, and subscribe right away so you never miss out. Don't forget to hit that bell too. In number 5, Dean Huijsen. And this was historic in the worst way. Spain named a World Cup squad with not a single Real Madrid player for the first time ever, and the biggest casualty was their own center back. Huijsen started for La Roja on 6 of the previous 7 times he was available, then got left home. A ball-playing defender, comfortable stepping into midfield, the exact modern profile every elite side is desperate for. A snub like that at his age doesn't break a player, it sharpens him. Watch him anchor Madrid's backline this season and make De La Fuente think very hard about that decision. Number 4, Sandro Tonali. Not a snub, not an injury. His country just didn't turn up. Italy failed to qualify for a 3rd straight World Cup, the first former champions to ever miss 3 in a row. Imagine being a midfielder that good, and your nation keeps letting you down. Tonali has been quietly excellent at Newcastle before moving to Tottenham. He's a proper box-to-box engine, and he carries 0 World Cup mileage into this new campaign. Now, that's a full season of a rested, elite midfielder with a chip on his shoulder the size of the new White Hart Lane. You know who else got failed by his country? Number 3, Ademola Lookman. Nigeria, one of the biggest nations on earth, crashed out in the African playoffs on penalties to DR Congo. And Lookman was arguably the best player at AFCON, a direct, fearless, both-footed winger who terrorizes fullbacks. No World Cup means no fatigue, no niggles, just a forward with a summer of frustration to unload on defenders every single weekend. If you're a defender lining up against him this season, good luck. You will need it. And that brings us to number 2, Victor Osimhen. The same story, the same heartbreak. After Italy, Nigeria were the biggest name to miss out, and the Super Eagles missing back-to-back World Cups for the first time in 36 years is a scandal. But look at the player, one of the most feared strikers in world football. Pure pace, power, and a poacher's instinct in the box. This is a striker in his prime with everything to prove and nothing draining his legs. Osimhen is going to score for fun this season, and every goal is going to feel like a message to everyone who watched that World Cup without him. And number 1, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. The best player in the Champions League last season, fresh off another PSG triumph, and his Georgia side simply couldn't get through qualifying. Think about that. One of the most dazzling, relentless wingers on the planet, and he's never played a single minute of a World Cup. That's not failure, that's a small nation falling short of a generational talent. Kvara comes into 2026-27 season as the crown jewel of a PSG side chasing everything, with no tournament in his legs and a burning need to remind the world he belongs at the very top. If he doesn't end up in the Ballon d'Or conversation this season, I'll be genuinely shocked. So, there's your 7. Palmer snubbed, Simmons rebuilding, Huijsen frozen out, Tonali failed by Italy, Lookman and Osimhen robbed by qualifying, and Kvara, a superstar without a stage. Different reasons, same outcome. They are well rested, motivated, and dangerous. But here's what I want from you. Of all 7, which one has the biggest breakout in him this season? And be honest, did your national manager get a selection spectacularly wrong? Tell me who, and tell me why. I'm reading every single comment.